These are the top 5 things that Jack Harlow could do to have had a better rollout for his Monica album. On now. Welcome to the Hip Hop Report. This is Rambo Hustle, and today we're discussing 5 ways that Jack Harlow could have had a better rollout for his new album, Monica. Now, his new album is projected to do about 27,000 units, which is terrible. It's embarrassing, and maybe that's okay for him because maybe this is just a passion project for what he wanted to do. But after putting all the pieces together, he did do the right thing in retrospect. Going into the project, he got Robert Glasper to contribute to the album musically, one of the key contributors to Kendrick Lamar's most important album of all time, How to Pimp a Butterfly, in which he did a lot of the musical elements of that project, a lot of the composition, and is one of the jazz greats that has also contributed to hip hop. So to me, musically, Robert Glasper is one of the key ingredients to any project that you want live instrumentations. So he made the right decision in that. Unfortunately, when it came time to actually roll the project out, he just didn't do it right. It shows in the numbers, and it shows in the response, and it shows in his inability to actually gain respect from the culture that he was essentially appropriating. So with that being said, here are the top 5 things that Jack Harlow could have done to have a more successful rollout for his new album, Monica. The first thing is have collaborators. Collaborate with people that are proficient and prolific in that field. You could have had Jill Scott on there. You could have had Musiq Soulchild so people didn't clown on you and roast you and call your album Musiq Soulchild. There's so many things that you could have had to incorporate people from the genre that you wanted to use, people that are familiar with neo soul, people that could validate the fact that you were doing this project. Maybe he can't sing the way we want neo soul to sound, but at least he went out and got the ingredients that he needed. I mean, you were this close. Robert Glasper, great start. You singing all the hooks, not a great start. And mind you, I don't hate the album. I just think that if you're going to steal culture and use culture, you need to also show that you are knowledgeable and educated on said culture. 2, the second thing Jack Harlow could have done is go sit down with people of the culture to discuss the album of the culture. Go sit down with Ebro. Go sit down with Sway. Sway even has the neo soul style, so you could have both had the hats on, but we'll get to that in a second. Number 3, you could have done a pre-promotion leading into the album where you kind of document your experiences with neo soul, how you became a fan of neo soul, and how you created this album based on your love and appreciation for that art. Because this surprise album where you just pop out and you're like, hey, I'm a neo soul artist now, is just not really landing the way that you expected. And I think most of us could have told you this would be the case. There was no way this was going to end well without you warming your crowd up that is used to you being a rapper and dressing like this for this album. Which brings up number 4, don't change your style. Don't change how you dress, because what's coming off is it's coming off like you're cosplaying the concept of black culture. Like you're trying to, like somebody just walked in the studio, one of your ex-executives from the label walked in the studio and said, hey man, I know you're working on this neo soul album. Maybe you should dress like this or like this. And at the end of the day, not only is it corny, but it leaves a bad taste in people's mouths when they feel like not only are you trying to appropriate the sound, not only are you trying to gentrify it for your own usage without actually involving people outside of Robert Glasper that will actually validate what you're trying to do and say, yeah, I co-sign that. But then you're also trying to present yourself in a somewhat of a costume of what you believe to be something representative of that genre. And I can't tell you how much I would have not recommended this. So where is management? Where is your advising team? Where is the people that are gonna go, hey man, not a great idea. Number 5 thing that Jack Harlow could have done for a better rollout of Monica, not name it Monica, not name it something that could be misconstrued. You're a rapper, so I don't want to hear I didn't know, that wasn't the intention. I didn't, like, it comes off so coy and so, it's just such a bad hand to play. Me, it almost comes off like you knew exactly what you were doing. And now that people are reacting negatively, now you're silent. You're not gonna say nothing because you thought you thought people would be okay by you saying in that interview that I know the way society is today, and I just love that, we appreciate that you appreciate the appreciation for the culture and the sound and the music, but there's a lot of backhanded compliments that you're delivering with this album that just were never going to land well. And I would expect you to, this is what, your fourth album? You've been doing this for over a decade. I would expect you to be able to read the room. But then again, like I said in my last short, you're just not built like that. Rambo Hustle with the Hip Hop Report.